Moving on now, in a major setback to Indian Mujahideen, 5 more operatives have been arrested by the Rajasthan ATS in Sikar. During interrogations, the recruits have revealed that the terror outfit is planning to build an army of high-tech jihadis. Youth from the IT background are being recruited by the Indian Mujahideen to bleed India. The security agencies say that taking on the tech-savvy terrorists is a big challenge.
A string of arrests by the security agencies. First Yasin Bhatkal last year, then recently Mohammad Waqas, followed by Tehseen Akhtar, and then 2 big fish netted by the Uttar Pradesh anti-terror squad at the Indo-Nepal border. And now 5 more youth have been arrested from Sikar in connection with the ongoing investigation into the Indian Mujahideen's Rajasthan module. Surprisingly, some of the arrested included students from an IT background. These youth were recruited by the Indian Mujahideen through Maruf, alias Ibrahim, who was recently arrested by the Delhi police. Maruf was himself a final year BTech student at VIT in Jaipur. During interrogations, the Indian Mujahideen operatives revealed that the terror group is planning to build a tech-savvy army of terrorists to bleed India.
जो अभी हमने हाल में राजस्थान का मॉड्यूल पकड़ा है, उसमें वो इंजीनियरिंग, उसमें 2 लड़के तो इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट थे और एक लड़का टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड का है। पिछले कुछ समय से जो भी इंडियन मुजाहिदीन के लोग पकड़े गए हैं, उनमें ऐसा पाया गया कि उसमें काफ़ी लोग टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड के हैं।
The IM operatives say the Rajasthan module already has many engineering students. The high-tech Indian Mujahideen recruits are communicating in a code language called steganography. The messages exchanged by the recruits look normal, but when decoded, reveal their nefarious designs. Security agencies feel that terrorists taking the cyber route is a big challenge.
इस तरह के लोग इंडियन मुजाहिदीन को ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं और नो डाउट इससे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो इंडियन मुजाहिदीन है उसका फ़ायदा होता है, क्योंकि वो बहुत ज़्यादा उनकी मोडस ऑपरेंडी टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड है।
The recruitment of students from technical background might look like a coincidence, but the matter of fact is Indian Mujahideen is specially looking for techno-savvy students so that they can not only execute their terror attacks easily, but can also dodge the security agencies by encrypting their internet messages. With camera person Lokendra Pandey and Tanseem Haider, this is Supratim Banerjee in Delhi for Headlines Today.
All right, Headlines Today, Deputy Editor Shiv Arur now joins us for more on this story. Now, Shiv, what sort of encoding is the Indian Mujahideen actually working at? And, you know, in the backdrop of all these arrests that have actually taken place, you know, how big a threat is this really for the Indian security agencies?
I would hazard to say, Sanket, that this is one of the most disturbing, most terrifying aspects of what terrorists are actually trying to do in India. And I'm afraid that the Indian security agencies aren't really paying enough attention to this aspect. Now, cyber terrorism has many dimensions, but what the Indian Mujahideen will be planning to do is actually be an extension of what the ISI has tried to do as far as India is concerned with many different cyber terrorist networks and groups for the last 5 to 6 years, and we've seen that happen in many forms. There are really 2 things to say here. One is the idea of disrupting services, sabotage, and trying to, you know, bring economic services within the country to an absolute standstill, which can have grave consequences, you know, for the country's services and economy. And 2, probably even more dangerously, hackers and you know, these youngsters who are being recruited by the Indian Mujahideen can actually be used to hack into very protected and sensitive servers to steal information of a sensitive nature, which could have you know, operational value, which could have military plans, which could have you know, details about the movements of VIPs, about the locations of you know, nuclear facilities or weapons depots. So you can talk about how servers can be damaged by these people and also how sensitive information can be stolen. Now, the aspect of them recruiting young engineers is very interesting, because this is precisely what you know, China has also been doing on an official basis, actually getting the, you know, the young engineers as soon as they get out of college or while they're in college, because they're actually in touch with the cutting edge of hacking technologies, the cutting edge of actually how to creep into systems to disrupt services, you know, to sabotage these networks and, you know, bring entire networks, entire servers to a standstill. As far as the Indian Mujahideen is concerned, we've seen this happen with the Lashkar. They've got teams based both in Nepal, in Bangladesh as well as in Pakistan, which have had varied degrees of success in waging cyber terrorism. So if the Indian Mujahideen is doing the same, I think it's extremely disturbing and needs to be nipped in the bud.
Absolutely, extremely disturbing, and this is being looked at in the Indian security establishment as Indian Mujahideen's e-recruits. Thank you very much, Shivarur, for all the latest.